easiest way I've found to free up your mind so that you can become more creative is write everything down. You have to get into the habit of writing everything down. Now, I'm all for technology and the internet, and it is the way forward 100%. I mean, that is how we progress and that is how we get most of our work. So technology has its place and it is awesome, and how it's evolved over the last 20-30 years is just off the chart. See, take Xero accountancy package online. I use that. Absolutely fantastic. You know, hands down beats at the end of the day having to sit down with your big red book, your cathedral analysis, and manually data entry everything, and then compile it all at the end, hand it to your accountant, real massive bills. Now, Xero accountancy packaging, everything's collaborated. You know, it links up me to my accountant, to the VAT man, to the Inland Revenue. So it's all at the touch of a button, accessible to all the bodies that need to see it. But you have to get back to basics to free up your mind. And the way you do this is write everything down. I have a book for everything. I have a collection book. So every time I do a job, I don't mess around with my phone, data entry and all that. It won't work. There's so many updates needed on a regular basis. It's not practical to have to go back to your van or wherever, to your laptop, your iPad, and physically update things on a package you've got. Like, you can get those window cleaning packages where you run your business on these packages. I don't think that they're half as good as writing everything down, because constantly throughout the day you're going to get emails, texts, WhatsApp, etc., inquiries, and you need to respond really quickly. So what you do, the second it comes through, bang, straight in your pad, done. Then they might text and say, oh, can you not do that this time, but just do this? Bang, straight to your pad, adjust it, all right? So the first book I have is a collection book. So every time I do a job, they haven't paid, I write it down in here, how much they owe, and the date I did it. That's basic. Years gone by, we would then go home, have a bite to eat, go back out 6-7 o'clock in the evening, drive around and collecting the money in the olden days. These days, so much easier. It comes through internet banking 99.9% of the time. The rest, dribs and drabs, check, cash, right? So collection book, write every job down that owes you money the second you do it, right? Next book, my workbook. Here we go. There we go. Look at that. My workbook. So what I do is I write down, sometimes 2 or 3 days in advance, I'll write out a list of work for that day, then the next day, then the next day, right? Any adjustments that come in to what I'm doing to that job, or they don't want it done, the second I get the message, I'm straight to the pad, just write an adjustment. Oh, don't do the back this time. Don't do the top, you know, whatever. You know, so instantly you go back to your van, write down an adjustment in the workbook, then it's done there and there. And the way I do it is, literally it's on a cycle. So I'll write that, for argument's sake, it is Friday, bloody pissing down, wasn't even forecast on the Met Office. Should be sunny in a minute though. Stop bleating on, buddy, stop whinging. Right, so it's the 14th of June, Friday. I'll write down what I'm gonna do. I did this about 3 days ago. So I'll write down what I'm gonna do, any adjustments I'll add to that, right? So then I'll do Monday the 17th, all next week, right? I'll write down where I'm going. And the way, where I got to get the work from is it's on a cycle. This book is just on a cycle that goes on and on and on and on until you get round to the 14th of July. And because of rain and bad weather and life, it generally, you're not going to be bang on time, but you're going to be within a week or 10 days. So you'll get back and it just goes the cycle. And every time I do the job, so here we are, Friday the 14th of June again, I'll do the work, right? Then I do 17th and it all gets written out. And then when I get back round, if you're following this, I'm not explaining it very well, am I? But if you're following this, you get round to the cycle, and then when you're back on that round again, you'll copy what you did the following month, add any adjustments, and then cross out that month, that day, sorry, you'll cross out that day, and it's back again, your 14th of July, 17th of July. Do you see what I mean? So it goes, so you get round in the cycle, you rewrite what you did the following month, ready for this month, and cross out the old month, and then it just keeps going on a cycle like that. Anyway, I probably confused the hell out of you on that one, but I prefer to write everything down on these notepads. My whole business is on these notepads. Right, now, this is the real important, as if that wasn't important enough. This is the real important book. My whole life is on here, right? Now, the reason why you need to write everything down is because it frees up your mind to be creative then. Then you don't have to worry about it, because you know, you go to your van, you've got your 3 pads there with your whole life. Everything's on there, on those pads. So you go to those pads and it tells you what you're doing. It tells you what date you're getting your hair cut, when you've got to go to the dentist. Literally, right, it's a form of journaling. I mean, I do journal. Years ago, when I was a kid, I kept a diary, and now they call it journaling. I think diary actually is more of a day-to-day thing of what you're doing, but journaling, you're putting all your thoughts on there. So I think I mean, journaling is just awesome. Any ideas you get, just pop it down there. At night, before I go to sleep, I write my journal, and any ideas, and where I'm going and what I'm doing, and you know, I get it all out on paper. And during the day, this is in effect my journal. I write everything down here. So all you can see here, look, old post office, gutter vacuum, £150. So that job came in. The lady I asked her to send me a picture. She texted me some pictures. I quoted her 150 quid for the gutter vacuum. She okayed it. So I've written it down in this book. It will get transferred from this book to the workbook. Old post office, gutter vacuum, next time, £150. Job done. So everything's here. You know, I'm on the search for another franchisee, subcontractor. So all the applicants will go on here. I've got bills I've got to pay. Look, Studio 6, the printers, I owe them money for invoices. That's down here. Booked in next Thursday for UPVC wash down, all the bits and bobs on a house. That's down here, Thursday 20th, 0800. Haircut, Friday the 21st of June, 2 p.m. So literally, I will put everything down here in this book. This is basically my daytime journal. Everything goes in here. So I know all of my thoughts are on this book. Any ideas? If I get an idea, I just go, fuck it, quick, back to the van, scribble it down in the van. So all my ideas and thoughts are put on paper every day, all day. So I can completely free up my mind. During the day, I'm like in the zone, just cleaning and free to do the best job that I can possibly do, in the confidence that all my thoughts have been transferred to this paper. Then I can go back to these notepads and I can refer to them, and it generates all those ideas, that it gets the creative juices. Oh, I've got to do that, I've got to do that. So that is my advice to you. You have to get in the habit of writing everything down, all your thoughts, how silly they may seem. See, even down to silly little things like, oh, audiobook. You hear a good audiobook recommendation, pop it in your book. You know, you build a list then, and when you get your credit at the end of the month, you go through your list of what audiobook you want. Oh, that'll do, I'll have that, because you've written it down. You've remembered it, you've got it here, and you haven't got to consciously try and think about, oh, what book at the end of the month when you get your Audible credit. You've got to sift through all the stuff to work out a book to get. Look in here. Oh yeah, it's a top 10 that I've listed that I quite like the look of. I'll go for that one. You know, everything should go. All your thoughts should go into here, and then nothing gets missed out, and your mind is totally freed up to get on with the day-to-day running of your business. Because all the time your mind is full consciously of everything that's in that paper, on that paper, everything that's on that paper, if it wasn't on there, it would be in your mind, mulling around, messing up your conscious mind. So then it wouldn't allow you to come up with suggestions for yourself. You know, one simple example is, bollocks, this has got to go up, this one. You know, would you have thought of that if you've got all those other things going on in around your head? I doubt it. You know, that's just one little example. Oh, I'm going to flyer drop these. That would be fantastic. What a nice location. We'll come back when it's raining and flyer drop those. Would you have thought of that with all that stuff going on in your head? Probably not. So free up your mind, get creative, get those ideas rolling around in your head. Ideas that are going to make you money and make you more productive. So overall, what it does, writing everything down, is it frees up your mind to concentrate on the job in hand and be productive and make more money during the day, knowing that you've offloaded everything that's up there onto paper there. You haven't got to worry about it. And that frees up your mind when you're in the zone cleaning to come up with ideas, creative ideas, ideas that will make you more money. Anyway, any comments you got, pop them in the box below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Anyway, the sun is coming out, Bully's back in the game. Laters.